Welcome to your deep dive. Today we're going deep, really deep into the world of Carl Jung,
Oh, yeah.
specifically his early intellectual development.
Mm.
We've got excerpts from the Red Book, Liber Novus,
Right.
his own personal journal, of self-discovery.
Yeah.
Plus, we've got some really insightful translator's notes to help us along the way.
Uh-huh.
Think of it as a backstage pass
Okay.
to the birth of analytical psychology.
Like we're cracking open Jung's personal vault.
Yeah.
Filled with his dreams, visions, all those aha moments
Right.
that shaped his unique approach, to the human psyche.
Okay, let's unpack this a little bit.
Sure.
Our sources paint this picture of Jung being kind of disillusioned with traditional psychiatry.
Okay.
He wasn't a fan of those rigid, experimental and statistical methods.
Interesting.
It's almost like he was yearning for something
Mm.
something more, something deeper.
Absolutely. It wasn't just about the science for Jung.
Yeah.
He was drawn to the richness of the clinical encounter,
Hmm.
seeing it as a window into the soul.
I see.
That's why he was fascinated by hypnosis.
Oh, wow.
It was a tool to explore those hidden depths
Right.
of his patients' minds.
It makes you wonder
Yeah.
if he felt so limited by those scientific approaches.
Yeah.
What was he searching for?
Well, he believed that true understanding came from diving deep
Okay.
into the individual's experiences, their dreams, fantasies,
Yeah.
the things that traditional psychiatry just often dismissed.
Right. And this is where his relationship with Freud gets interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone thinks Jung
Right.
and instantly jumps to Freud
Yes.
like they were two peas in a pod.
Yeah. But our sources kind of challenge that Freud-centric narrative.
They do.
Sarah.
Exactly. Well, Freud was a major influence.
Right.
Jung was also heavily influenced by thinkers like
Got it.
Bleuler, Janet, and Flournoy.
I've heard of them.
They were all pioneers,
Yeah.
in exploring the unconscious.
Mm.
And their ideas really resonated with Jung's own thinking. So this wasn't just Jung in isolation,
Right.
right? He wasn't the only one dabbling in these unconventional ideas.
No, not at all.
The early 20th century was buzzing with all sorts of intellectual ferment.
Absolutely. Think of it as a time of intense curiosity
Okay.
about the hidden forces shaping human experience.
Yeah.
Guys like Herbert Silberer and Ludwig Staudenmeier,
Interesting.
they were also exploring dreams, hallucinations,
Wow.
and the subconscious. It was like the air itself was crackling
Yeah.
with all these new ideas about the mind.
So Jung was swimming in this sea of new thought.
Yeah,
And then comes Liber Novus,
right.
this intense personal record
Yes.
of his self-exploration.
Uh-huh.
We're talking vivid fantasies,
Oh, yeah.
dialogues with his unconscious,
Really intense stuff.
the works.
It's almost like an artistic masterpiece.
Yeah.
Filled with symbolic imagery
Right.
and powerful emotional experience.
And one that stands out is his vision of this devastating flood.
Oh, wow.
He actually believed that this vision predicted World War I.
Mm.
Talk about a powerful connection
Yeah.
between the inner world
Right.
and world events.
You see, that vision speaks to Jung's growing belief in the collective unconscious.
Uh-huh.
This idea that we're all connected on a deeper level,
Okay.
sharing a reservoir of images and archetypes
I see.
that shape our individual experiences. It's like we're all tapping into the same universal wellspring.
Wow, that's heavy stuff.
It is.
And you can't talk about Liber Novus without mentioning those recurring figures
Right.
in his visions.
Yeah.
I mean, Philemon, a wise old man with bull horns and kingfisher wings,
I know, right?
that's some seriously vivid imagery.
Philemon represents this key archetype,
Okay.
a figure of wisdom and guidance
Mhm.
that emerged from Jung's unconscious.
And it was through these encounters
Yeah.
that he developed the technique of active imagination.
Exactly.
It wasn't enough for him to just passively observe his dreams.
No.
He wanted to engage with them,
Right.
to have dialogues, to really
Oh.
unlock that hidden wisdom.
It's like he was treating his unconscious as a collaborator,
Hmm.
a source of insight and inspiration.
So different from the traditional view of the unconscious as something to be feared
Yeah.
or repressed.
And it's worth noting that this technique of active imagination wasn't entirely unique to Jung.
Really?
Other thinkers and artists were also experimenting with similar methods,
Oh,
tapping into the power of the subconscious
okay.
for creative and spiritual exploration.
So he's got all these intense experiences,
Yeah.
these profound insights bubbling up from his unconscious.
Right.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
He struggled to find the right language to express it all.
Oh, interesting.
It was like traditional art,
Yeah.
philosophy,
Yeah.
even religion.
Uh-huh.
They just didn't quite capture what he was experiencing.
He was pushing the boundaries of conventional thought,
Yeah.
searching for a new vocabulary
Right.
to articulate the mysteries of the psyche.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
The source material outlines 4 common ways people try to channel these powerful images
Okay.
from the unconscious. Art, philosophical speculation,
Uh-huh.
religious fervor,
Yeah.
and even what's termed licentiousness,
Oh, right.
which I guess you could think of as losing yourself in excess or pleasure-seeking.
Okay, so we've got
Sure.
art, philosophy, religion,
Yeah.
and let's just say indulging a little too much.
Yeah.
Where does Jung's psychology fit into all of this?
It's a good question.
He saw his approach as a fifth way,
Okay.
a distinct path that went beyond those other frameworks.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to create art or build a philosophical system or start a new religion. He was trying to understand the human psyche
Yeah.
in a fundamentally new way.
Interesting.
And this, you could say, marks the birth of Jungian psychology.
Fascinating stuff. It's
Yeah.
like he was forging this new path.
Yeah.
Creating a whole new language to talk about the inner world. And what's really cool is that he wasn't alone in this.
No, not at all.
His circle was full of people exploring similar ideas.
Yes. The sources mention this vibrant artistic culture
Okay.
among Jung's colleagues. For instance, Alphonse Mader,
Okay.
one of his close associates.
Right.
He wasn't just theorizing about art and the unconscious. He was actually experiencing and documenting his own visions.
Wow.
It shows you how deeply these ideas permeated their lives and work.
It's like they were all on this grand adventure together,
Right.
pushing the boundaries of what was known about the human mind.
Exactly.
And Jung even mentioned in a letter
Oh, yeah.
how he needed more workers in this field.
Interesting.
It wasn't about competition.
Yeah.
It was about collaboration,
Yeah.
a shared desire to uncover these hidden truths.
And Jung was adamant that engaging with the unconscious wasn't just some intellectual exercise.
Right.
He believed it had real practical implications
Okay.
for personal growth.
Even for transforming society
Wow.
as a whole.
So it's not just about understanding ourselves, it's about understanding the forces
Yes.
that shape our world. Right.
Exactly.
And speaking of understanding ourselves,
Okay.
the sources emphasize Jung's belief that the unconscious
Oh.
holds this incredible wisdom and experience of untold ages.
Right.
It's not something to be afraid of.
No, not at all.
It's a guide,
Yeah.
a source of untapped potential.
Like we have this inner compass
Yeah.
that's been guiding humanity for centuries. And if we learn to tap into it,
Right.
we can find our way through the complexities of life.
Okay, so we've covered Jung's early influences.
Yeah.
His personal journey documented in Liber Novus.
Right.
The development of key concepts like psychological types
Uh-huh.
and the transcendent function.
Okay.
But why should we care about Liber Novus today?
That's a good question.
What makes it so relevant to us now?
Well, think about this.
Jung actually considered publishing Liber Novus later in life.
Really?
He even revised and edited the manuscript,
Interesting.
which shows how important he felt these early experiences were.
I see.
He didn't want them to stay hidden away. He wanted to share these insights with the world.
And remember, he
Yeah.
presented seminars based on its content,
He did.
directly linking it to the development of his theory of psychological types.
Exactly.
So it's not just a historical curiosity.
Right.
It's foundational to understanding Jungian thought.
That's the whole.
It's like the seed
Yeah.
from which all of his later ideas grew.
It really seems as though Jung saw Liber Novus as more than just a personal diary. He believed it held a key
Right.
to unlocking a deeper understanding of human psychology.
That makes me wonder
What's that?
if Jung found such profound insights by exploring his own psyche,
Yeah.
what could we discover by delving into our own inner worlds?
It's a thrilling thought.
It is.
The idea that each of us has this untapped potential for growth and understanding just waiting to be discovered.
But it does take courage to confront our shadow side,
It does.
those dark and often uncomfortable corners of our psyche
Right.
that we tend to avoid.
And Jung's own experience shows us that it can be a long and challenging journey.
Yeah.
But the rewards,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
his life and work demonstrate, can be truly transformative.
Remember that passage in Liber Novus
Oh, yeah.
where he encounters the red one? this figure who challenges his preconceived notions
Right.
and forces him to confront his own shadow.
It's like a turning point in his journey of self-discovery.
Exactly. It's that willingness to grapple with the unknown.
Yes.
To face those aspects of ourselves we'd rather avoid.
Right.
That ultimately leads to growth and individuation.
It's a message that speaks to us as powerfully today as it did back then.
Absolutely.
And here's another fascinating detail
Okay.
from the source material.
Uh-huh.
Jung describes 4 common ways
Yeah.
people deal with the powerful imagery that emerges from the unconscious.
Okay.
They might express it through art,
Right.
explore it philosophically,
Uh-huh.
channel it into religious fervor,
Yeah.
or unfortunately squander it in various forms of excess.
Those 4 options offer such a fascinating lens
They do.
through which to view human behavior
Yeah.
and motivations.
But what sets Jung apart
Right.
is that he saw his psychological approach as a 5th way,
Interesting.
a path that aimed to integrate
Hmm.
these powerful forces into
Yeah.
a more holistic and balanced sense of self.
So it's not just about expressing or
Right.
repressing these
Yeah.
unconscious energies.
It's about understanding and integrating them
Okay.
into our conscious lives.
Weave them into the tapestry
Exactly.
of who we are.
That's a powerful idea.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it raises some crucial questions for all of us.
Yeah.
How do we approach our own shadow side?
Right.
How do we find that delicate balance between the conscious and unconscious aspects of ourselves?
It's good questions.
These are questions that Jung grappled with throughout his life.
Yeah.
And they're just as relevant for anyone seeking greater self-awareness
Yeah.
and personal fulfillment today.
Jung's journey,
Yeah.
as documented in Liber Novus,
Uh-huh.
wasn't always easy or comfortable.
No.
He had to face intense visions,
Maybe.
wrestle with profound doubts,
Yeah.
and confront challenging truths about himself and humanity as a whole.
But it was through this process of confronting his own darkness
Right.
that he ultimately discovered a path to
Yeah.
greater understanding, not only of himself,
Right.
but of the human psyche in general.
And that's what makes Liber Novus so powerful.
It is.
It's a testament to the transformative power
Yeah.
of facing our inner demons
Right.
and integrating them into a more whole and authentic self.
It's a reminder that the journey toward wholeness is rarely smooth sailing.
No, it's not.
It's often messy, challenging,
Right.
and at times even painful. Right.
But it's a journey worth taking.
It is.
And as Jung's own life shows us,
Yeah.
the insights we gain along the way can not only benefit ourselves, but also contribute to a deeper understanding of the human condition.
Absolutely.
And what's so inspiring about Jung's work
Right.
is that it offers a framework for understanding those universal human experiences,
Okay.
those shared struggles and triumphs
Yeah.
that connect us all.
He reminds us that we're not alone in our search for meaning and wholeness.
Exactly.
And that's a message that resonates with people
It does.
from all walks of life,
Yeah.
no matter their background or beliefs.
And that brings us back to Liber Novus
Right?
and its enduring relevance. Jung's willingness to share his own personal journey of self-discovery
Yeah,
is a powerful testament
it is.
to the transformative potential that lies within each of us.
Right.
It's an invitation to embark on our own explorations
Yeah.
of the unconscious, to confront our shadows, and to embrace the complexities
Yeah.
of our own inner worlds.
It's an invitation to discover that hidden wisdom
Exactly.
that resides within ourselves.
And to live a more authentic and fulfilling life.
It's like he's saying, hey, if I can do it, you can too. But let's be honest, it wasn't all sunshine and roses for Jung.
No, that's right.
Remember that passage in Liber Novus
Uh-huh.
where he describes his descent into hell?
Oh, yeah. That's
Pretty intense stuff.
intense
He
stuff.
talks about confronting this abysmal evil
Right.
and the need to accept our shadow side if we ever want to achieve true wholeness.
That's a powerful image.
It is.
And it speaks to the courage it takes to face those darker parts of ourselves.
Yeah.
Jung believed that real, lasting transformation
Right.
could only happen if we were willing to look into those uncomfortable truths,
Yeah.
those aspects of our being that we'd rather keep hidden away.
It's like shining a light into the darkest corners of our basement.
Exactly.
We might not like what we find down there,
All right.
but it's the only way to truly clean house. And it's not just about confronting those dark corners.
Right.
Jung also talks about the importance of sacrifice
Okay.
in that passage.
Yeah.
The idea that we need to be willing to let go of certain beliefs, attachments, even parts of ourselves.
Wow.
In order to create space for something new to emerge.
It's about surrendering to the unknown.
Yes, letting go of control.
Right.
And trusting that something beautiful can grow from the ashes of what we leave behind.
Jung saw this as a crucial element
He did.
of the individuation process.
It's like pruning a tree.
Okay.
You have to cut away some branches to allow for new growth
Right.
and to help the tree reach its full potential.
And then there's his encounter with the god of the frogs,
Oh, right.
that strange and unsettling figure
Yeah.
who represents the union of opposites. It's a reminder that the path to wholeness isn't always pretty or straightforward.
No, it's not.
Sometimes it's downright weird and uncomfortable.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
Jung challenged the traditional idea of a purely benevolent God. He offered a much more complex and nuanced view of the divine, one that embraced both light and darkness.
Okay.
He saw the god of the frogs as a symbol of that essential unity,
I see.
the integration of opposites,
Right.
that's so vital for achieving wholeness.
It's like he's saying that real spirituality isn't about clinging to comfortable beliefs
No.
or avoiding the difficult truths of existence.
It's about embracing the totality of life, with all its messiness and contradictions.
So we've explored Jung's early influences,
Yeah.
his personal journey of self-discovery as documented in Liber Novus, and the emergence of some of his key concepts.
Okay.
But how does all this translate to our lives today?
That's a great question.
Why should we care about these ideas now? What's the lasting impact of his work?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Well, for starters,
Yeah.
Jung's emphasis on the unconscious remains a cornerstone of how we understand the human mind.
It really helped shift our focus
It did.
from purely rational thought
Yeah.
to that vast and often mysterious realm of the subconscious.
He opened up a whole new dimension of human experience.
He also emphasized the importance of symbolism,
He did.
showing us how those recurring images and archetypes
Right.
that pop up in dreams, myths, and religions
Yeah.
can offer a glimpse into the deeper workings of the psyche.
Jung's work paved the way. It did. For a more holistic and nuanced understanding of human experience,
Right.
one that acknowledges the interplay of both conscious and unconscious forces, reason and intuition, light and shadow.
It's not about choosing one over the other.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing the dance between them.
And then there's his concept of individuation,
Yeah.
that lifelong journey of becoming a fully realized individual.
This idea still resonates with so many people
It does.
who are seeking greater self-awareness,
Right.
personal fulfillment.
It's a reminder that true growth is an ongoing process.
A constant striving toward wholeness and authenticity.
It's not a destination, it's a journey.
Jung's influence extends far beyond the realm of psychology.
It does.
His ideas have had a profound impact
Yeah.
on fields ranging from psychotherapy and counseling
Right.
to art, literature, and even spirituality.
His work continues to be studied and debated,
It does.
offering a rich and complex framework
Yeah.
for understanding the human condition.
And perhaps most importantly,
Yeah.
his life and work serve as a powerful inspiration
Right.
to embrace the complexities of our own inner world, to have the courage to confront our shadows,
Right.
and to embark on that lifelong journey of self-discovery.
It's amazing to think that this deeply personal journey of self-exploration
It is.
led to insights that have had such a profound impact on the world.
Absolutely.
And here's a final thought for you to ponder.
Okay.
If Jung saw Liber Novus as a key to understanding his theories, could exploring our own inner world lead to similar breakthroughs?
What hidden wisdom might we uncover if we dared to engage in our own active imagination and listen to those whispers from our unconscious?
It's like he's handing us a map and saying, go explore. You never know what treasures you might find within.
Exactly. It's an invitation to dive deep into the uncharted territories of our own being.
Yeah.
It's about embracing the unknown, the messy,
Yeah.
the beautiful complexity that makes us human.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
Yeah.
into the early intellectual development of Carl Jung,
We hope you've gained some valuable insights.
and maybe even a renewed sense of curiosity
Right.
about the mysteries of your own inner world.
Until next time, keep exploring.